The Romans built this floor plan in 100 BC. And in 2026, architects are building it again. Not as a historical tribute, not as a novelty. Because after 2,000 years of trying rectangular rooms, flat roofs, and linear corridors, the architectural community is arriving at a conclusion the Romans reached without any of our technology. The circle is the most efficient, the most thermally performing, and the most spatially extraordinary small residential floor plan that has ever existed. And the tiny home movement is the reason it is back. The floor plans most architects never stopped wanting to build. That is, affordable tiny living, every single week. Subscribe right now and hit the notification bell. We cover the ideas that time proves correct. The Roman domus was organized around a central atrium, a rectangular structure with a courtyard at its heart, open to the sky, surrounded by the rooms of daily life arranged around its perimeter. The atrium delivered light to every room simultaneously. It created the private outdoor space that dense Roman urban living made impossible to achieve any other way. And it organized the domestic program of the household around a single shared outdoor room that every member of the household moved through continuously throughout the day. The Roman circular building form, the tholos, the rotunda, the circular temple and bath structure, took that organizational logic one step further. The circle enclosed the maximum possible interior volume with the minimum possible wall material. Its curved walls distributed structural loads in pure compression without a single weak point at any corner junction. Its domed roof transferred its weight outward to the circular wall ring without any interior column. The Pantheon in Rome, the most perfectly preserved large-scale circular building in the ancient world, was completed in 105 AD. Its concrete dome spans 43.3 meters. Its oculus at the apex is 8.7 meters in diameter, and it has stood without significant structural intervention for 19 centuries. The geometry that produced that structure is the same geometry producing Roman O-shaped tiny homes in 2026. Not at the scale of the Pantheon. At 200 to 500 square feet of circular floor area, with build methods ranging from Earthbag and cob to rammed earth, Stone-Veneer Timber Frame, and prefabricated circular modules. But with the same organizing principle the Romans understood 2,000 years ago. The circle is the correct answer to the question of how to enclose the most space with the least material and the most structural integrity. And in 2026, with material costs at their current levels and the tiny home movement demanding maximum livable space per dollar of construction, that answer is more relevant than it has ever been since the Romans first gave it. Today we cover why the Roman O-shaped tiny home is being revived, what it looks like in 2026, how it performs spatially and thermally, and what it actually costs to build. 3 reasons this floor plan is back. Reason 1. The mathematics never changed. The circle encloses more floor area per linear meter of wall than any other shape. This is not architecture. This is geometry. A 20-foot diameter circle encloses 314 square feet with 62.8 feet of perimeter wall. A square enclosing the same 314 square feet requires 70.9 feet of perimeter wall. That is 8.1 feet of additional wall for exactly the same enclosed floor area. In 2026, with timber framing running $8 to $15 per linear foot of wall, including materials and labor, that 8.1 feet of additional wall costs $65 to $122 at the structural frame stage. Applied to the full wall system including insulation, cladding, and interior lining, the cost premium of the square over the circle for equivalent floor area runs $800 to $2,200 on a 300 square foot structure. The Roman understood this without a calculator. The 2026 cost environment makes it financially significant. Reason 2. the thermal mass argument is more compelling than ever. A circular wall in plan has no corners. Corners in masonry construction are thermal bridge points, where heat conducts between the interior and exterior more readily than through the flat wall sections between them. A circular masonry, or earthen wall, has 0 corners, 0 thermal bridge points. The thermal performance of a correctly built circular masonry wall is the highest achievable in any plan geometry for equivalent wall thickness and material. In an era of rising energy costs and increasing summer heat events, a wall system with no thermal bridges and maximum thermal mass for its material volume is not a period aesthetic preference. It is a performance specification. Reason 3. The Oculus is the most efficient natural light delivery system in small residential architecture. A circular floor plan with a central oculus at the dome apex delivers direct overhead light to the center of the floor plan at solar noon on every day of the year. That light falls in a defined circle on the floor, moving slowly across the interior as the sun tracks, marking the time of day in a way no window can replicate. The Oculus is also a passive ventilation stack. Hot air rising to the apex of the dome exits through the Oculus continuously. Cool air is drawn in through low wall openings to replace it. The building breathes through its own geometry, without any mechanical assistance. Roman bathhouses used this principle to maintain comfortable interior temperatures, without any active heating beyond the hypocaust floor system. The geometry did the thermal regulation. The same principle in a 2026 tiny home reduces mechanical heating and cooling loads by a measurable percentage every day the building is occupied. Stand in front of a Roman O-shaped tiny home, and the form communicates itself before any detail is visible. Solid, permanent, completely resolved. The circular wall reads from any approach angle as a single continuous surface. There are no flat faces to approach perpendicularly. There is no primary facade and no secondary elevation. The building presents the same curved mass to every viewpoint simultaneously. The window openings are arched, not as a decorative choice, as the structurally correct solution to creating an opening in a curved masonry or earthen wall. The arch distributes the load of the wall above the opening in compression around the curve to the flanking wall sections. No lintel beam required. No additional structural element needed at any window opening, regardless of its width. The doorway arch is the building's primary compositional statement, slightly taller than the window arches, slightly wider. The keystone at its apex, emphasized in a contrasting material. A carved limestone block in the most resolved builds. A simple color contrast in the most budget-conscious ones. The dome rises from the top of the circular wall to the central apex. A low-profile dome sitting at a rise-to-span ratio of approximately 1:4 is the most visually compatible with a small residential scale. Too high, and the dome appears precarious. Too flat, and the structural curve is insufficient. At 1:4, the dome reads as deliberate and settled. The Oculus, at the apex, a circular opening of 600 to 900 mm diameter in a residential tiny home scale, glazed with a fixed flat or domed polycarbonate or glass panel in wet climates, open in dry climates, where the Roman original was always left without cover. The exterior material palette follows the Roman residential tradition: lime plaster over masonry or earthen wall, painted in warm ochre, terracotta, or cream. Or natural stone left unplastered, where the stone itself is the finish. Or in contemporary builds, dark rammed earth with a lime stabilizer, the circular wall, reading as a monolithic form whose material is visually identical to the ground it rises from. From any approach, this home looks like it has always been here. That is not an aesthetic effect. It is a consequence of using a structural form and material language that the earth recognizes as its own. The Oculus is the first and defining interior experience. A circle of sky overhead, light falling vertically from it in a defined beam that moves slowly across the floor as the sun moves. The interior does not have a window that looks out. It has a skylight that looks up. The relationship between the building and the sky is direct, vertical, and continuous. That relationship creates a spatial quality that no rectangular room with side windows can replicate. The interior of a Roman O-shaped tiny home feels connected to the outdoor world, not through a view to the horizon, but through a direct visual and physical connection to the sky, directly above. Rain enters through the Oculus in an unglazed design and falls to a shallow drain in the floor at the center of the mosaic. In an open Oculus building, the interior and the exterior exist in a relationship the Romans called impluvium, the courtyard that receives the sky. The circular interior is one undivided space. The dome structure transfers all loads outward to the circular wall ring. No interior columns, no load-bearing partitions. The functional zones are arranged around the perimeter of the circular floor plan. Kitchen alcove in one arc of the perimeter, defined by a built-in stone or timber bench. Sleeping platform in the opposite arc, slightly elevated on a low podium that echoes the Roman lectus positioning. Bathroom in its own small circular or arched extension, added to the primary circle where the building requires wet zone isolation. The Oculus delivers solar noon overhead light to the center of the floor. Low arched windows in the perimeter wall deliver directional horizontal light to the perimeter zones from multiple compass orientations simultaneously. Morning light enters from the east-facing window arc. Afternoon light enters from the west-facing arc. The interior is never without natural light from at least two sources at any hour of the day. The Oculus overhead, and at least one perimeter arc of windows from the current sun position. Lime plaster on the interior curved wall surfaces. The slight irregularity of hand application, visible as a subtle texture that shifts in the moving light from the Oculus overhead. Terracotta tile or geometric mosaic floor following the circular footprint. Built-in arched niches carved into the wall thickness at intervals around the perimeter, each one providing display and storage within the wall mass itself, rather than requiring furniture to project into the floor area. Here is what a Roman O-shaped tiny home costs to build in 2026. Based on a 20-foot diameter circular plan with a low dome roof and central Oculus, approximately 314 square feet of floor area. Build Method 1. Earthbag or cob, the most historically authentic and most affordable option. Earthbag or cob wall ring, materials only if site soil is suitable. $2,000 to $6,000. Contractor labor for wall construction if not owner-built. $8,000 to $18,000. Corbelled earthen dome with lime plaster finish. $4,000 to $9,000. Interior lime plaster and terracotta floor. $5,500 to $10,000. Entry arch in formed cob or stone. $1,200 to $3,500. Mechanical systems, electrical, plumbing, and mini-split. $12,000 to $20,000. Foundation rubble trench or concrete ring. $3,500 to $8,000. Permits and professional fees. $4,500 to $9,000. Earthbag or cob total. $38,700 to $83,500. Build Method 2. Stone-Veneer Timber Frame Circle. The most architecturally resolved residential option. Curved wall timber frame with natural stone veneer exterior. $32,000 to $58,000. Conical timber roof structure with dome profile ceiling lining. $18,000 to $30,000. Glazed Oculus unit at apex. $2,500 to $5,500. Arched window frames and arched entry door. $8,000 to $16,000. Interior lime plaster and mosaic or terracotta floor. $8,000 to $18,000. Foundation, $7,000 to $14,000. Mechanical systems, $14,000 to $24,000. Permits and professional fees, $9,000 to $18,000. Stone-Veneer Timber Frame total, $98,500 to $183,500. Build Method 3, prefabricated circular module with Roman finish overlay, the fastest build timeline option. Factory-built circular module, delivered and installed, $55,000 to $90,000. Stone veneer cladding on exterior curved surface, $14,000 to $22,000. Arched window and door inserts, $6,000 to $12,000. Dome profile interior ceiling lining and Oculus skylight, $8,000 to $16,000. Interior lime plaster and terracotta floor, $7,000 to $14,000. Mechanical systems, $14,000 to $24,000. Permits and fees, $8,000 to $16,000. Prefab module total, $112,000 to $194,000. The same Roman floor plan, 3 completely different cost outcomes. The Earthbag self-build at under $84,000 and the prefab module at up to $194,000 are both producing the same circle, the same dome, the same Oculus, and the same 2,000-year-old organizational logic. What changes between them is not the architecture, it is the material authenticity and the construction timeline. The Romans did not build the O-shaped floor plan because it was fashionable. They built it because they had run the calculation. Maximum enclosed volume per unit of wall material. 0 structural weak points at corner junctions. Thermal mass distributed evenly around the full perimeter. Passive ventilation through the central oculus without any mechanical assistance. Light delivered to the center of the plan from directly overhead at no additional glazing cost. Every one of those advantages is as valid in 2026 as it was in 100 BC. The materials have changed. Earthbag and prefabricated modules have replaced hand-laid Roman concrete and volcanic pozzolana. The scale has reduced from the Pantheon's 43-meter span to the tiny home's 20-foot diameter. But the geometry has not changed at all, because the geometry was always correct. And the architects reviving it in 2026 are not discovering something new. They are remembering something old enough to have outlasted every other residential floor plan that has competed with it. So here is the question I want answered in the comments right now. Is the Roman O-shaped tiny home the proof that the best residential floor plans were already developed 2,000 years ago, and the last century of rectangular construction has been a very long detour? Or is there something fundamental about modern life, the furniture, the appliances, the rectangular screens and rectangular beds and rectangular kitchen cabinets, that makes the curved wall an irreconcilable friction, regardless of how architecturally correct the geometry is? Both arguments are completely legitimate. Tell me which one you land on. Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this 2,000-year-old floor plan changed how you think about what a tiny home can be in 2026, stay subscribed to Affordable Tiny Living. Because next week we are inside a completed Earthbag Roman O-shaped tiny home. The owner who built it themselves. The $38,000 budget. The 11 weeks of construction. And every decision that turned a clay subsoil, some polypropylene bags, and a knowledge of Roman geometry into a home that will still be standing when every stick frame subdivision around it has been rebuilt twice. That video is coming exclusively to this channel. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Share this with anyone who has ever looked at a rectangle and thought, there has to be a better shape than this. There is. It is 2,000 years old. I am your host on Affordable Tiny Living. See you in the next one.